Touchdown in 46 seconds. Punches back. Touchdown.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Friday, and welcome back into the NBA Hardwood Show here on the Run Pure Sports YouTube channel. I'm Draft Cheat, and joined today by Big T. Big T, how's it going on this Friday afternoon?
What's up? I'm excited to step into some big shoes, JSU shoes on these Friday shows. But I always like doing the show with DC after all these years. We don't do too many NBA together. Baseball, we'll do some stuff. Football here and there, we'll do some. But basketball, I don't know if we've not in a while. At least we haven't done one just me and you, have we? Maybe with JSU, maybe with us or something. We've done it, but I always like it. Bring it back more old school when we would do a lot more of these together. But
we got baseball coming up in a month and a half. So
when's opening day?
It's early this year. It's like March 26th or something like that. So like a week early, which I'm all for. I'm getting ready for some baseball for sure. But we got kind of the dog days of the NBA here up until baseball season. Trade deadline has settled, so we've got new teams for a lot of players, changing rotations. I think that makes it fun, shaking up some stuff, gives the non-projection guys, I think, a little bit of a better chance, because you got to read between the tea leaves a little bit on some of what these teams are going to do. So excited to talk about it all. Just 4 games to get to. Big T, we were talking pre-show Super Bowl. Sounds like you're riding on the Seahawks side.
Yeah, been on Seattle the whole way, kind of trash talking JSU on our shows all year. Can't get off now. I don't see how New England can score on Seattle, but the total's high. That's kind of what we were talking about too on the Super Bowl show. The total's higher than it seems, so I'm a little nervous that maybe both teams score more than people think with the higher total. I kind of thought it would be low 40s, 41, 42. Seeing it up at 45 and a half feels a little heavy to me, and that worries me because the under feels like a great play to me. And man, I'm worried though. What do you think about the total?
I'm on the under as well, but I'm with you when it's suspiciously high. Makes you second guess a little bit, but I think I'm sticking with
the Super Bowl, right? Because there's so much action going into it more than ever that they're not going to hang a bad number out there. Like it just makes you question it.
And especially because the under is usually the sharp side, right? And then it's like higher than it normally is. It's definitely a little suspicious.
Do you think it's flipped for this game? Because I agree, it's always unders or the sharp side in the Super. Do you think it's kind of flipped here though with the way these teams are, that maybe the over is more of the like sharp side on this thing, or no?
That's what I'm thinking, but it's just so rare for the over to be the sharp side that if it is, it can't be by much.
Has there like been a Super Bowl, like without actually pulling it up and looking? Has there ever been ever is a stupid thing to say. Has there ever been a Super Bowl with like not a stud quarterback in there? Like, I know Drake May could have won the MVP, but he's still going against a great defense. New England's offense isn't like some juggernaut. And Seattle has Darnold, who's been through the ringer. Like every other time, like just in my head, it's either Mahomes or Brady or these guys the last like 30 years. So it's always going to be an over with those guys in there. You get these teams without public quarterback. I guess Drake May is probably a public quarterback, even though he's young. But he's not Mahomes and Brady and that kind of stuff.
No. It's hard to judge New England on their last 2 games. I mean, the second half of that blizzard against Denver, I mean, it wasn't even really football, right? They're just kind of punting back and forth. It was just – I hated to watch that, to have it decided where neither team can throw it for, even a couple yards. And then – they faced the Texans, another awesome defense in the cold before that. So I think their offense may be a little bit underrated. But yeah, I mean, by like the advanced metrics, like some of the advanced metrics think this Seattle team is like really, really good. Not good. I think it's kind of easy to say these are two, with the not no-name quarterbacks, but lesser quarterbacks, that it's kind of a, disappointing Super Bowl. But Yeah, I don't know. I'm on Patriots right now, but I haven't. Not a strong take for me.
I think you need to get on. So I've kind of been on that Seattle side that I think I think their defense and their coaching is like as good as anybody. I don't think their offense is like amazing, obviously. I do think JSN's amazing, but their defense, I think, is just like next level. And I don't think people are given a proper appreciation for having to play the Rams and 49ers 6 times this year. I mean, like, that's a gauntlet that is a tough stretch against, and they had to play them both in the playoffs, obviously. That is so much different than the Patriots' path here, which I get it. Like, everyone's saying the same thing. The Patriots got lucky, but it's the talking points. It's the same talking points everyone makes. So, like, I don't think it's that crucial, but I do think Seattle is much more battle-tested than New England is.
Yeah. Yeah. If it's a blowout one way, I definitely think it's the Seattle side for sure. Yeah. I don't see New England running away with it. I could see Seattle defense smothering them and pulling away early, but
in low scoring, I think favors Seattle a lot too. If it turns like, just say the total is, say both numbers are good, the spread and the total, 4.5, 45. I think that benefits New England a little bit, where it's like a 27-24 or something type game. I think that benefits New England because they got probably the better quarterback. Their quarterback can move more too. But if it's low scoring, I think it favors Seattle. And then I agree with you. A blowout definitely favors Seattle. I can't see New England just blowing them out. Oh, MD, get out of here, MD. First of all, you don't got a logo. Second of all, MD2949 is terrible name. Come on.
He's been putting time out. We're not taking that shit early.
Yeah, I mean, it's Super Bowl weekend, and there's 4 games on the NBA slate.
And he called us dorks. It's a bridge too far.
Yeah. The dorks part offended me the least of the rest of it.
Me too, but we'll ban him anyway. He's on timeout. Maybe he can come back in 5 minutes. I don't even know how it works. But regardless, we'll go on with the show. I got one more question for you, Big T, before we go on. I don't know if you saw it today. The rage on Twitter. Drake May lost the MVP vote by 1 vote because one guy voted for Justin Herbert.
Yeah. We were talking about it a little. That's crazy. And the overall vote was only 5 points or something. Like, it was razor thin, the margin of it. I actually thought Stafford would win way more convincingly, even though I do think you might not agree. Most people, I think he should have won over Stafford. I didn't even say this on the earlier show. I think Stafford got the 5th seed. It's always about winning until it's not. Like, now all of a sudden that part doesn't matter. I don't know.
I would have voted for Drake May as well. But pretty funny. Someone voted for.
And then
Herbert.
He posted something defending it or something. Like, he was I did it because whatever his freaking reasoning was. Well, he had a bad offensive line. Like, okay, what does that matter?
He came out right away and said he was the person that voted for Herbert. He was also, I tweeted this, last year, Jaden Daniels got 49 of 50 votes for Offensive Rookie of the Year, and he was the one who didn't vote.
Who did he vote? What was that in there? Who was
Brock Bowers, who was amazing. So, I mean.
But he wasn't Jaden Daniels, though. Just, if that's you 2 straight years, you lose your vote. And I looked up the guy. He's not like some national media writer or something. Like, it's not Scott Van Pelt doing it or something. Like, he's got to be out of there. He doesn't need a vote.
He's got to be one of the last people on the voting list, in terms of
100%. You got all the national newspaper people, I don't know. I have no idea who's voting. I could sound like an idiot right now, but I'm assuming that. And then he's got to be towards the bottom, 100%. Well, when I pulled him up, I was expecting it to say Washington Post or something, some big newspaper type thing. But then when I saw he was basically us or something, not much higher than us in the media. It's what are we doing right here? It's like us talking fantasy where we have a contrarian take. Okay, I don't think Cade Cunningham should be the offensive player of the year in the East. And then we argue about it. That's not what you're supposed to do with the freaking MVP and those awards.
Yeah, he did get 10 million views on his tweet so far in 8 hours. So
he's going to get a lot of views on it because it's such a contrarian take that he's going to get a lot more.
So I'll give him props from that perspective. I mean, it's kind of the same thing as going on the first take, just clickbait, trying to get engagement. So It's working. We'll see if it'll backfire if he loses his vote, though. I would say that, but we'll see. Just kind of funny on the Justin Herbert stuff.
Who
Let's
even
get
controls it? Like, who could take his vote? Like, who's
all
a
right.
commissioner or something? Maybe handles it. I don't know.
I'm with you. I don't know who the voters are really, and I don't know how that process works at all. So, guess we'll find out. But we'll move to NBA for now. We got 4 games to talk about. Half an hour later start than usual. So yeah, 7:30 Eastern time start. We start with Miami
Only
and
a
Boston.
30-minute window is kind of nice too, right? Like for the people like me that like to do stuff, like you have only a 30-minute window, 7:30 and 8 makes it way easier.
I'm all for it. I'm all for the short window NBA for sure. Let's talk about Miami and Boston. 228 total, second highest on the slate. Boston favored by 6, and yeah, we've had a lot of games with a ton of injuries lately, but we got one here with essentially none. Tyler Hero out; he's been out a while for Miami. Obviously, Boston traded Anthony Simons at the trade deadline, so one short at the guard position, but everyone other than Hero in for Miami, and everybody outside of the traded Simons in for Boston. So normally on on a slate, a bigger slate, I think you'd kind of look away from a game with no injury news, but on a 4-gamer, you can't really do that, right? You got to look at every game, try to pick out the best plays. What are you looking at here between Miami and Boston?
Yeah, so like you said, you just have a lot of bodies, and adding Vooch into the rotation instead of Simons clutters it even more, at least for me. I assume they'll start Kata still. Maybe they'd start Vooch. Who do you think starts?
I don't know, but I bet they split the minutes pretty close. Kata and Vooch.
Excellent point. Yeah, probably it doesn't really matter who they start. Like, obviously, I'd rather play Vooch than Kata, but he's also 7,600. You're not paying that price in Boston, so he's totally out of play. But Kata is also impacted by Vooch being there. You're not playing him at 5,900. You're not playing Doogie Howser at 5,100. A lot of these guys are used to some people being out here and there. A lot of Boston guys have sat recently, and now you got guys that are just overpriced. Jaylen Brown, you could definitely play with the way he's kind of led the team and been one of the best in the East. 9,700 is still honestly a pretty good price for Jaylen Brown. I don't think that's bad at all. But Derek White, I'm not paying 8,200. Pritchard, there's no way I'm paying 7,200 with this. Really can't go. Jaylen Brown, the more I look at it, I could definitely play him. The way it lines up with the slate, I like how he's been. And then the Miami side is even more clear-cut. I mean, you're not paying up for those guys. Norman Powell's been awesome. You're not paying up for that. Hawkes off the bench mainly, no. Wiggins is a guy I just never really play these days. He always kind of projects decently with projections and stuff. I don't see it. Davion Mitchell would be my favorite, just 5K. I think that price is decent. And his matchup, they're going to need him a lot to guard all these Boston guys. I think they're going to need him, but his price isn't a deal. Always in NBA DFS, unless you're playing 150 teams, which I'm not, and I assume you're not. Maybe you are tonight with the $8, but I'm not. I don't. You just don't need to play everyone. So I'm with you where. Davion Mitchell, I would leave in my pool, and then Jaylen Brown, I actually like a little bit, but that's it from this game. I don't see a ton, and there's no other new bodies. Miami didn't make any trades. Their team's the exact same.
Simons for Vooch, or no, yeah, Miami didn't do anything.
Yeah, so nothing, and then so these two teams are two of the ones that really didn't change a ton, but got healthy. So I'm with you. I don't love a ton here.
That's certainly the consensus take. I mean, only Jaylen Brown. We look at the ownerships here from Sabre, 20%. Derek White, 13%. Everybody else in this game on a 4-game slate below 10%. So not a lot of people go into this game. I agree with most of what you said.
Dula Bands wants to see the Miami side.
Yeah.
Too. Give him a little sniff of Miami.
Yeah, Wiggins, little Davion Mitchell, but yeah, everybody under 10% on Miami too. I have a little more interest in the Boston guards, just with Simons out of there. I think their minutes are so secure. I mean, Derek White played 37 in the last game and was removed a couple minutes early due to the blowout. Pritchard, they don't have any other point guards, right? I mean, Jaylen Brown can do it a little bit, but I think those guys, Pritchard and White, are in for 35 plus minutes. If the game's close at all, which I do think this game will be close, or maybe Miami pulls away, Boston rather. But even in that scenario, I bet White, Pritchard do well. I prefer Derek White between the two with the 1K difference, but I am with you. I think Jaylen Brown, especially at the forward spot, best play in this game. And then I would go White and Pritchard really before any Miami guys. Miami, I'm not playing Wiggins. Yeah, like you said, Mitchell is fine. I think Bam Adebayo is fine, but there are better places to go on this slate than Miami. So some interest in Boston, not a ton in Miami. Let's go.
What do you think? Who do you think gets a boost from Simons being gone? Just like Shireman and Hugo Gonzalez, like they just pick up a few, and then the other ones just go to White and Pritchard. Like what?
Yeah, I think Shireman and Hugo, but I just because they don't have any other ball handlers. I mean, so I think it's White and Pritchard that pick up the most. Which
normally Ron Harper, it totally caught me off guard, but obviously everyone knows the Spurs kid. I didn't even know he had another kid here in the league. This dude's chugging them out. Ron Harper Jr.
He's beating LeBron to the punch. Kids can play.
Yeah, he's crushing LeBron and Jordan for that matter. He's crushing Michael Jeffrey Jordan too. He had all those kids that never made it either. And one played at Central Florida, but none of them ever got over the hump.
It would suck to be MJ's or LeBron's kid and not be able to make it.
It would suck it away. But then you have to just look in the mirror and be like, I have the best athleticism in the world. I got to go out and get it done.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
I mean. You got no one to blame but yourself with that kind of money and that athleticism. Like you got no excuses.
Best athleticism, best coaching you could possibly ask for, I'm sure.
Anything, indoor court, whenever you want, like all that stuff. You got no excuses. Exactly.
Let's get to the Knicks and the Pistons here. Pistons favored by 4, 220 total. Jalen Duren, the big news we're waiting on. He is questionable. Towns is doubtful in this game. So Mitchell Robinson, I think, going to be a really popular play today. 42% owned, projected right now by Sabre. And then OG Anunoby, also questionable. So potentially more minutes for Hart, maybe Bridges. And yeah, the Pistons did trade Ivy at the deadline, and then Jenkins is doubtful to play. So they are a little thin at point guard, maybe a few more minutes for Cade Cunningham. I think another one where Mitchell Robinson stands out is, I don't know if I'd call him a must play, but a really strong play. But other than that, ownership's going to be spread out here. What's standing out to you between the Knicks and the Pistons?
Yeah, it's going to be really hard not to play. On a 4-game slate, it's going to be hard not to play Mitch Rob. But kind of like you were saying, though, a center like him that gets handsy at times, could get foul trouble, isn't really a scorer. Anything can happen with Mitch Rob. Like he could definitely bust, but man, it's going to be tough going against Detroit with those bigs. And he's only 4,300. Like he could get there for you with just blocks and rebounds, like with just no points. He could easily get there. So it's going to be a tough fade. And one of the guys that's shocked me lately is Shammond. All of a sudden, I know his numbers aren't like amazing, but he's been getting good run. And like as far as actual basketball, he's looked so good the last like 2 weeks. I mean, played 36 minutes against Denver the other night. I watched that game close, obviously, being a Nuggets game. But he played good, only 25. And I guess this is more of a point not to play him. I mean, he's 4,300. You're not going to pay that. But he could eat into some of the other minutes just a hair. Or if like OG's out, maybe he gets a boost. And it sucks because his price, I mean, you're never paying 4,300 for Shammond. He should be 3,300 for us to consider it. And honestly, I wish he was. When I pulled it up, I was hoping he was 3,300 because you got like even Kolak is 3,400. I wish those prices were flipped a little bit just because of how much the difference means. And with Mitch Rob out too, you can go to the classic move we've had too, playing this aerial dude, the backup. Like, what if Mitch Rob gets in foul trouble? a pivot off. This dude's only projected 5% owned on our projections and 6-7% around the industry a little bit. He's 3K. Like if Mitch Rob does get in foul trouble, this guy could get you 25 for Stone Men 3K. You probably can even play him with Mitch Rob. The old school move where you play two centers, 7,300. You get all those minutes. You get a little bit of protection too, because no matter what, Mitch Rob isn't gonna go in and play 38 minutes or something. Like you're gonna get plenty of minutes for the other dude, no matter what. So I like those guys. Obviously, we need to. We'll have the OG news before tip. If he's out, I mean, I'm gonna have to like some of these cheap guys like Kolak or Clarkson. I know it's not a direct, like OG's more of a wing, but just look at the roster. I mean, Shammah will play a bunch if he's out for sure, but I think these guards could get a boost too with OG out, even though it's not a direct correlation and the price lines up. The only issue I have is I never like playing people against Detroit. Detroit's just solid. They're just a good, well-rounded team. Don't love it, but man, you look at this roster, I mean, even looking at the sheet, 2, 4, 6, 8. I mean, you got 10 guys, but I mean, like Diawara isn't really going to play much. I don't know. Like OG's out, all of a sudden you're looking at an 8-9-man rotation, and I think these guys are somewhat credible down there, Kolak and Clarkson.
Yeah, especially if OG does miss, all those guys I think are good plays.
Yeah, Shammon. How do you say it?
Shamit.
Shamit.
The people have been giving me problems with the pronunciations too, but Shammot and
Landry Shammot is. I mean, you're really gonna take a stand on his name?
That's what I'm saying. It's close enough. You got one syllable around.
It's not like we're saying Cade Cunningham and mispronouncing it or something. Like it's Landry Shammot, and I think that's how you pronounce it, anyways. Is the funny part. Midnight, or maybe I just think Midnight Shammot, that producer or whatever, actor or whatever that dude is.
Oh yeah, M Night. Is that what you're thinking of? I don't know.
Yeah, whatever it is, M Night Shammot or whatever.
Shyamalan, I think is his name. But yeah, I'm with you. That's close enough. We can't give him Big T a hard time. I mean, I think if OG misses, I mean, I like Shamit a lot.
The problem is he just doesn't like do anything except shoot. Like
he's got to make his
get hot.
Yeah, he does. But 4,300.
He's gonna play.
Yeah, he's gonna play. They did start Clarkson last game. Me and JSU warned people against Clarkson. I don't know how popular he was, but did play 24 minutes, 14 fantasy points. I just don't see any upside with Clarkson. So I take Shamit over him. And I like your Huck Porty call, Big T, because I don't even think Mitch Robinson, I think is high in minutes on the season, 27 or 28. I mean, hard to project him for more than 25. Do we think Huck Porty gets the other remainder? I mean,
they like playing a big, so I don't see why you wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess they could. It definitely matters if OG's in too, because if OG's in, they could. I mean, he could play a little 5 to where you don't have to go too super. But Detroit's big too. They're a big team. I think he plays. I think honestly, I think the projection's bad that we got. Like, what's it say? What does they got him at for ours? 15 or something.
Huck Porty?
Like 10. I think it should be way closer to 15 than 10. I don't like our projection there. I would go.
We got him at 15 minutes, which I think he plays more than that.
I do too. I would definitely go up. And the good part, which I've said for freaking how long have we done NBA shows now? 12 years. When a guy is Stone Men 3K, it is way different than 4K, 4,300. They just can't hurt you. If they get in there and get 4 points or something, it hurts you. But if he gets you like 12, you're okay. And if he somehow gets like, just say Mitrov gets in foul trouble and he somehow gets you 27 or something, you are lapping the field with all that ownership on Mitch. He just can't hurt you. If you know he's going to play, which we do, I mean, he's going to play minimum 15 minutes or something. Like, I think he's a great play. I think we're onto him, especially if he's not owned. Like it doesn't look like he's going to be owned.
Yeah, I don't really think that's going to change too much. Maybe it goes up a little bit, but like we kind of have the news already, right? And people, well, it's also like a direct leverage play against the chalkiest play on the slate, Mitchell Robinson, right? Like if he fails, it's probably going to Huck 40.
20%.
I think I would be really surprised if one of the two didn't get there. I think you can play them together too, but I think the better play is to make
fade and leverage it.
Yeah.
So 2 games ago, they played the Wizards, and he played 22 minutes. So I was curious. So Cat was in. Mitch Rob was not in, though.
So he was the backup. He was Cat's backup.
Huck Porty was.
Yeah.
He was?
Well, if he played 22 minutes when Mitch Rob was out, I mean.
22 minutes. And another note, like, so it's a similar – I know Cat, believe me, people out there, like, I know Cat and Mitch Rob aren't the same. But it's still a body, a center, a big guy. And then you got these other guys. Clarkson played 21. Shamit played 21. It actually says you pronounce his name Shamit, too. Shamit somehow. They said it's like damn it. Shamit, damn it. Like Shamit.
Right. Everybody was wrong. Nobody knew how.
Yeah, except for the dude that was making fun of me probably knew or something. But and then Kolak played 21 minutes, too. So all these low 3K guys. And I always lean more towards stars and scrubs, so I like the 3K guys more than other people do. But I think if OG is out, I know I already said this, but if OG's out, I think those guards get a little boost. All those guys, Clarkson, Shamit, and Kolak, I think they all get a little boost.
Yeah, chat's making me laugh. I'm with you. I think the Knicks are interesting here. I kind of hope OG sits because I kind of like these cheap Knicks that you're talking about. What about the Detroit side, Big T? I mean, I have no problem spending for Cade, especially with Ivy out of there and Jenkins doubtful. Duran, if he plays, I think is fine. And then we'll see. Harris is probable, so he's likely to be back in there. You see anyone on Detroit? I don't really see anything that like super stands out that I need to play, but yeah, I think Cade and Duran are pretty solid plays.
So you get rid of Ivy. You don't really add anything in. I mean, Herder, Javante, they just got a deep roster. They're just a tough team that I'm not going to really, even if Duran's in, I guess the more important question would be if he was somehow out. I think he'll play, though, Duran.
Me too.
Just Cade. It's almost like a Boston situation for me. I do like Cade, though, and I kind of like game. They played in the playoffs last year, right? Detroit and the Knicks. Didn't they go 7 or something?
Yeah.
And Brunson and Cade kind of going back and forth a little bit. I don't like full correlations in basketball, but I do like matchups like this where you could play like Brunson and Cade together and have them get a little back and forth going where it's the two head honchos, kind of two guards that always have the ball in their hands. Boom, boom, boom. I could see playing both of them in this spot or getting creative and playing Cade with a few different Knicks guys. I mean, this game's way better to me than the Boston-Miami game, even though the total's a little lower.
Was Brunson good in that series against Detroit? I can't remember.
I don't think he was great, but I remember it being clutch when it mattered. Again, this is totally off the head like everything I do. I could be wrong when we actually look at the numbers, but I remember being on the Knicks and thinking Detroit was the better side the whole series. I just feel like the Knicks won crunch time. Like the Pistons would be better the whole game, and then all of a sudden they would somehow happen and the Knicks would – kind of what happens to young teams. This year, Detroit will probably put them away.
I mean, it is a spot, Detroit at home here, leading the East. It's kind of a spot for Cade to say, what's up? We're the top dog now. So I like that. I like that narrative street a little bit, especially with his backups missing. If you give him a couple more minutes, yeah, I like the Cade call. I think I'm in there. And I don't mind Brunson either, but the Cade call especially makes a lot of sense to me. And I like the Cade side more than Brunson. Just you might, who knows what ends up happening where you could get to another stud or something. I don't mind him. For sure. Let's go to Indiana and Milwaukee next. 222? Yeah, 222 total in this one. Indiana favored by 1.5. Pacers obviously had that crazy game last time out with all the bench guys, but Their guys are back in there for the most part now. Neesmith, Nemhard, McConnell all going to play in this one. Siakam is back. Quentin Jackson questionable, but with the other Pacers back, I don't think that matters too much. And then Zubac, who they traded for, not available tonight. It doesn't look like. Milwaukee obviously still missing Giannis. Kuzma is going to sit this game out, and Portis and Harris are questionable. So potentially a shorthanded Milwaukee team. They did get Kevin Porter Jr. back last game. He was right back to 29 minutes in that one. Put up another big game, 47 fantasy points. He was a monster for a while with Giannis out, and if he played 29 minutes in his first game back, I kind of just assume he's good to go, unless we get word that he's on a minutes limit. Ryan Rollins, I have a hard time with his price, but he's earned it at 8,500. He's been really good. So yeah, I mean, if Kuzma and or Portis are out, we already know Kuzma out. If Portis is out, they're really going to need scoring. So I think Rollins and Porter Jr. are pretty interesting, especially depending on Portis. And then I think less interest overall in the Indiana side with their guys back. I just never pay the high 8K price tag for Siakam. I don't know if you play him a lot, but just doesn't seem like he has the upside. Nemhard, 7,300, I don't love. I don't see a lot on Indiana, but I do like the Milwaukee side here too.
Yeah, I was hoping I would like this Indiana spot more just because Milwaukee, I don't feel like, well, especially with Giannis out, I don't feel like they play any defense really. And I know Indiana likes to get up in pace, but then you break it down further. Man, I just never play Siakam. I'm with you. Even in the playoffs on short slates, I still don't like to play him. He's just not a guy that I ever really want to play, especially at 8,800. I feel like he's always safe. I have no confidence in him giving me upside at this price point. So I don't see it. I mean, Nemhard, I think he's like an okay play. I don't think it's horrible just because it's a 4-game slate. But again, it's the price point, 7,300 at Milwaukee on a Friday night just does not seem that appetizing to me, where I just don't see them. I mean, this team was in the finals. Are they really up for a Friday night? I just don't. I don't see it. Neesmith, same thing. It just feels expensive. All these guys are okay. Jay Huff, I'm definitely not paying 4,800. Jarris, McConnell's another guy that's okay at 4,100. Is a value. I don't hate it. I mean, I think he'll be okay. I think he'll get you low 20s. And then you got more centers that like Micah Potter. He's questionable, but they don't have any size. I just hate how Indiana wants to play a million people. You don't know who it's going to be. I don't love it. I'd rather play our Knicks guy than Potter. So I'm pretty much with you on Indiana. I don't see a single guy that I have to have. Last guy in, I think there could be a few last guy in type candidates when you're building your team. Like if I get to the end and it's Nemhard or something, I'm okay with that. I don't have an issue, but I'm not forcing anyone in. Like there's not going to be any core plays for me here.
Look at some of these ownerships on Indiana. I mean,
I don't get it.
Yeah, me neither.
Is it just because their projections are good? Like why is it? Why are they that high owned?
I really don't.
Milwaukee does play no defense. I want to clarify that. Like they do give up easy points. So that could mean something with it.
It's only a 222 total though. It's not. I mean,
I don't get it. And I kind of think Portis. What do you think, Portis? I think Portis kind of sits. What do you think?
I mean, Kuzma's already sitting. They're obviously in tank mode. With these teams that are throwing in the towel, I kind of lean sit a lot of the time. So,
and if he sits, I just don't know how we don't play at least one of Rollins or KPJ.
I'm playing KPJ tonight if Portis sits.
I think he looks great, and so does Rollins, though. Maybe I just play them both. I mean, they're going to be up in pace. Who else is going to score? I mean, AJ Green's a spot-up shooter. Gary Trent's a spot-up shooter. Pete Nance, Sims are centers. Andre Jackson can't shoot. They don't have anyone. I think I just answered my own question. Like, I'm just going to play both of them as long as Portis is out. If Portis is in, it definitely muddies it a little bit. You could play Portis too, though, for that matter.
I like playing all three if Portis is in.
You can sell me on it for sure because, like, just say it. Like, and you got Miles Turner, who's a little bit of a revenge spot, but on a day where we have all these centers, how can you really play Miles Turner tonight? I don't really. You could. I mean, if you're playing a bunch of teams, because I think it's a decent spot. But I'm with you. I think it's all systems go for Milwaukee here. I don't like the cheap guys as much. I wish I could play Pete Nance. I wish he was a forward eligible because I kind of like him in this spot, but he's only center. I don't need to play him at center only. So I'm with you. I think I'd rank it KPJ, Rollins, and then Portis. I hope Portis just doesn't play though, because then we can just full slam the other two guys.
I think people don't realize how bad Indiana is. I mean, I think they have the worst record in the league or close to it. And so I think that's what, they're favored by 1.5 here. Like Milwaukee's been getting stomped in general, and these guys have still been getting
bad too. These are two bad teams.
But that's what I'm saying. Milwaukee, I don't know. I really like the Milwaukee side here. I haven't played much Ryan Rollins, but I think I'm in tonight. Him, KPJ, maybe Portis. We'll see. Hopefully Portis sits. Then our guys are going off. Rollins and KPJ if Portis sits. I'll say that.
The only annoying part too about Rollins and KPJ, which I've always hated this about DraftKings, our partner, which I love DraftKings. I hate when the multi-eligibility is just so random. Like, why do they Porter and Rollins both only point guards? Then you get other positions where a guy can be shooting guard and small forward, and they're eligible everywhere. And then other people are center. I just wish it was. I always like the old FanDuel version where you have one position. You're either this or that, and it falls in. I hate the how it's like this. Drives me crazy.
It's especially annoying because it's so easy. I could do this I could get the positions right on in half an hour a day, or
easily.
Less. Yeah.
And I just think everyone should be, if you're going to have half the guys eligible at 2 spots, I think everyone should be eligible at 2 spots. That's another issue I have. Even the centers, like Miles Turner's definitely only a center. Just make him power forward too, because it just sucks that you have some guys Gary Trent's not an example, but being guard forward, you can literally use him across the board. Whereas the centers like Pete Nance, I can't use because he's only center. I hate that.
Yeah, it is annoying. I really like the everyone gets dual eligibility thing.
Yeah. Everyone would complain less, right? Just everybody's eligible 2 spots. You're not, some of them, like Miles Turner, shouldn't be power forward, but everyone's 2 positions. So who cares? He's forward, center. And how does that hurt anything? It doesn't hurt the game. It only makes people like it more because you can play people in multiple spots.
This is the funny part, is that it would be one thing if it didn't change, but somebody is changing them and they just don't know.
I'm trying to think of who it was the one day. There was a guy that was a forward, one of the studs, me and JSU were talking about, and he was point guard only. It wasn't Cooper Flagg, but it was a guy like that was only point guard. And it was legit like a forward. Maybe someone in the chat, I don't know. I can't remember, but I couldn't even believe that it said point guard only. It was a big dude. It was Murphy. Yeah, it was Trey Murphy. He was point guard only. Trey Murphy.
He is tonight too. We're about
he is again?
Yeah.
How can Trey Murphy be only point guard?
I don't know.
He is not. Does he play point guard for him? I assume he does because I don't know. But he's not a point guard.
He started one game there and they changed him to point guard.
He's the most non-point guard I've ever seen. He's literally a wing.
But I don't think there's any way they're changing it on purpose to make the slate. No way they're doing this. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think they don't care enough to do it on purpose. They just want to put it out there. Everyone would want this. Yeah.
You're in for this? No defense? Give a super.
The college game is better fantasy-wise than NFL. Why would anyone not rather have a super flex than a defense? That makes it more fun for everybody.
Yeah, the thought is that like traditional fantasy players, if you're on DraftKings, you don't give a shit. You're happy to
No.
pick a second quarterback.
I refuse to believe anyone would be mad. Would it be different than usual? Sure, it would be different than we're used to, but it would be better. And isn't that the goal, to be better and to make people like it more?
Exactly. It would be better. I bet they'll make the change eventually, but maybe not anytime soon. But
At least we got rid of kickers. We used to have kickers and defenses. Remember when our boy the Siege was like, there's such a big edge with kickers? I got the kicker model.
Oh, Siege. I had forgotten about that one. That's a classic Siege.
The kicker model.
Oh man! All right, we got to get to the last game here. Pelicans and Minnesota Timberwolves. Wolves favored by 8.5 here. Monster total 237. Another 10 points above Miami and Boston. Minnesota didn't get Giannis. I was kind of hoping for it, Big T, but didn't happen. They did get Dosunmu though, who I think not in tonight, but going to be a nice addition to the team. And then they got Conley back for free as well, which overall,
he did end up coming back officially
because he signed with like 2 different teams, so then he can go back to the original one. But yeah, so they got that, which is fun. Other injury news is Randall questionable to play with that thumb, but he's played through it 2 games in a row and played 40 and 36 minutes, and he hasn't missed a game all year. So I would be surprised if Randall was not in there. Obviously, benefit to all the Wolves if he is out. We got point guard only. Trey Murphy, I think, going to start at point guard again. Fears, Poole, super cheap. Zion coming off a pretty good game. Fun one here. Should be high pace, high scoring. What are you doing with Pelicans and Wolves here, T?
How about our boy Jordan Poole, too? How the mighty have fallen. Mr. Jordan Poole gets punched by Draymond, and he's just never this. He's 3,200 on a team that sucks. Like, oh, man. 3,200 for Jordan Poole. That's AP's boy. AP played him every slate for like 2 years. Jordan Poole, I mean,
Draymond is a dick, but I bet he had a good reason to punch Poole.
Exactly. And you never really heard any of the teammates come out and take Poole's side either, which was even crazier. The dude gets punched and no one's on his side.
Yeah.
But I mean, he is bad. All jokes aside, he's bad. I just thought it was funny looking at
You know what's funny is the other famous practice punch. Portis punched Mirotic. You remember that?
Yeah, and we've never even seen him again.
That's what I'm saying. So both punchers thriving, but the punchy is not doing so hot.
Mirotic got owned. Like his was even worse than Poole's. I think they said he's like, I think he's playing overseas, but it is funny that both of them have never been the same. 3,200 for Jordan Poole though. I honestly like. He gets down to like 3K, I can consider playing him again. He's in his price range where I can finally play him for the first time in 4 years. I might not have played him since he was at Michigan. But the rest of this team, I mean, New Orleans is another team that plays no defense. I think Minnesota should handle this team easy. Anthony Edwards is another guy that in the same category as Jaylen Brown and Cade. Up top, you can plug him in there, pick your guy. We say on these, we could split hairs with the studs all we want. Like, is there really that much of a difference between Ant and Cade and Jaylen? No. I mean, the position, how your roster construction lines up. Sure.
Come on, T, that's not what people want to hear. They want to know who's scoring the most fantasy points tonight.
I know. Like it's tough for me to look at the 3 and not put Jaylen Brown number 1, but I also think Miami kind of sucks and New Orleans sucks. So if we think the one close game is the Knicks game, it's tough not to have Cade. So how do you rank those 3?
I like Cade the best. I like the narrative story we talked about, missing his backups. Just I go Cade 1, Edwards 2, Brown 3, but I mean, I'm with you. They all play different positions too, right? So it obviously depends on the rest of your roster. Yeah, like people don't want to hear it, but whichever one fits, whatever,
I do think like people these days are a little sharper with understanding that when we say that, like, yeah, you want us to, and sometimes we do have takes. Like some slates, I'll be like, yeah, it's Ant tonight. I love it. But tonight, these three look similar. And I want to see the Randall news, which is great that we have 30-minute difference between the whole slate. Because if Randall's out, I mean, I don't know how you're not slamming Naz Reid. I'm probably going to play Naz Reid anyways, even with Randall, even if he plays. I love Naz Reid in this game. Jaden McDaniels is a much better play. But somehow Bones Highland's been good all year. I don't know how he's been as good as he has, but you got even more room for him tonight. I mean, what is he, the seventh man in this rotation? I mean, he's going to get good minutes in here tonight as the seventh guy. They're not deep tonight. I mean, Jalen Clark's eighth. I like the Johnny Juzang pickup too. He hasn't been out there all year, has he?
No.
Yeah, I like him as like a bench guy, especially.
I kind of like this Bones call.
How does he not do well? And he fits both scripts, right? If Minnesota plays close, he fits it because he's got to play. They needed scoring. You look at the – especially if Randall sits too. Like Rudy's not a scorer, obviously. Jaden's more of a defender, spot-up shooter. Dante, same thing. Bones just fits that role of a little bit of a creator when it's not Ant. Give him that guard that can create. His price looks high, but he's been good. He's been good, and the matchup's good. So – I love Minnesota. Minnesota and Milwaukee are the two teams. Honestly, maybe I just kind of play those Detroit center spot a little bit and wait for these 8 o'clock games and just slam them in there once we have all the news, because I don't, besides the centers, I don't really need anything from the Knicks. Again, though, we got to wait for news there too, because if OG's out, it really skews things too. But the Detroit side, we don't love. Cade's fine. Miami, we definitely don't love. And then Boston, we don't need anybody either, really. So I kind of think that's what I want to do. So play the Knicks center spot and wait and see what happens at 8. Because no matter what, you can field a good team at 8. Even if the news doesn't, like all these guys are in, you still have plenty of guys you can throw in there.
Yeah, we're on the same page. Knicks centers, Cunningham early, and then see how it all shakes out with Milwaukee and Minnesota in particular, right? And then the Pelicans guys, we didn't really talk about their side. You like, the cheap guys, right? Poole. What do you think?
I don't love Poole, but I can definitely play him at that price. 3,200, I can definitely get him in there.
Yeah, I like Bones better, but they're not the same price, obviously. But I love the Bones call. Miles Turner, we were kind of lukewarm on him. I think he's a fine play, but not our favorite, right?
If Portis is out, I like him a decent amount more than if Portis is in, I can't play him. And he's center only, which is tough. Because no matter what, I think you should play one of the New York centers.
Yeah.
If not both, but definitely one. I mean, there's no way that they both bust, like, at those prices. So then you only got one center spot left, and I don't really want to use it on him.
No, I'm with you there. Let's go to
the other dude said 50% of Ant or Jaylen Brown. I honestly would, if I had to choose, I'd say split it personally. Like, just give me, I don't know. Like, if you got 20 teams, 10 of each, like, yeah, or you can play both, but I like the splitter of them. And the other dude said you can play, if you play both, you can play all 3 studs. I like that, but we both kind of like the Milwaukee side. So obviously, you can't play the 3 studs with the Milwaukee guys.
It does seem pretty stars and scrubsy, this slate for sure. I do think you want to get some high-end guys in there. I like DiVincenzo too. We didn't really talk about him, but like this game's going to be fast-paced. I could see the Wolves bombing away from 3 here. You said you like Naz Reid. He's another one who benefits from the pace of the game. We're in.
I love Minnesota. Like, if I build my team with just, like we said, the early centers and then Minnesota and Milwaukee only, I feel very good about that roster construction.
Yeah, I'm with you. Minnesota, Milwaukee, and then some of those Knicks guys. Let's do anti-play of the day here, Big T. Best part of the show. Get to rant on some guy. I've got it sorted by ownership here. Who's the most over-owned player on the slate?
I got to look back into this. So Fears is projected to be 50% owned. What? Has he just been? He is only 3,800.
Yeah.
I'm tempted though. I am tempted to throw Mr. Fears in because we didn't even talk about him, did we? Did you?
No, I didn't.
I didn't even talk about him, and that just shows like I wasn't looking at ownership. I was just breaking down the games. I can't believe that he's projected to be the highest owned guy on the slate. I mean, Jay Huff is just a slam dunk for me to not play. So, like, I kind of want to say Fears, though, and let the balls hang a little bit. The only problem I will say, though, about the Fears fade and why he's so high, I mean, he's 3,800. The price tag is the price tag's down there. But, man, I'm tempted to say it. I don't want to say it and then end up playing him because I feel like I just missed the boat. I don't feel like maybe it's because he was that cheap. I just didn't notice him. I'll take the easy way out and say Huff.
Yeah. Fears 40% feels like a lot to me, but I get it. Why he's a good offensive player, going to get some minutes, cheap.
And shooting guard too. You get that key shooting guard eligibility spot. 3,800 is just a really cheap price.
Yeah.
Who else is out as far as guards for New Orleans? They traded Alvarado. Like who else are they missing? Like, why is he so cheap?
Herb Jones is out too, right?
He's in.
Is he? Yeah, he's in. Yeah, it's just the Alvarado trade.
It's just weird. Like Poole and Fears are so cheap that it makes me like feel like someone's out or something. It's just weird.
Yeah, they are super cheap and will be owned. My anti-play of the day, I'll go with TJ McConnell. You can have your 15 minutes. I need more minutes than that. So TJ McConnell, anti-play of the day. Not as strong as the Jay Huff play, but we'll do TJ McConnell. Big T, let's go to overall play of the day. Your favorite play on the slate.
So my favorite play. I don't want to give one of the studs just because we kind of hedged away. I gotta give. I don't want to steal yours either. I know who you're gonna say, and I like him. But as the theme of the show, I'll go with Ryan Rollins. I know you're not gonna say him. I think he just smashes this Indiana team. I don't want to steal yours. I feel like ours are gonna. I'll even give the low owned one too. Is that Knicks backup center? So Ryan Rollins is like my higher owned guy. And then, how do you even say his last name before I get made fun of? Huck Porty is our low-owned guy, like play of the day type play.
We're riding together tonight because I was on Huck Porty as one of my options. That it just makes all the sense in the world to me. I think he gets 20-plus minutes off the bench, and it's 3K. And then, I think you probably knew KPJ for the Milwaukee Bucks, 7,500. We've seen it from him a bunch already. Played 29 minutes in his first game back. Should be good to go, I think, minutes-wise. So Kevin Porter Jr., I think, puts up a big game against the Pacers. That's all 4 games. Plays of the day, anti-play of the day. Big T, anything else to say to the people before we get out of here?
Just playing around with, like, our roster construction and the guys we like. It's pretty crazy how good it, like, lines up, especially if you put Chalky Fears in there because he's shooting guard and it frees up even more salary. But even say you wanted to play both centers, like say you wanted to play the both just monster chalk guys, Fears and Mitrob, which in NBA, if you make a living fading the like mega chalk, you're probably going to lose. Let's just be honest. The good plays, like the really good 50% plays are good for a reason. So just say you play those two and you play both Knicks centers. So you play Huck Porty and then you play both of our plays of the day, Rollins and KPJ. So that's like a show core right there that I think we like all 5 guys. It still leaves you with 7,700 for the last 3 spots. I mean, you want to talk about flexibility on a Friday night slate? You could probably still fit 2 studs in a build like that with one more value or something, depending on who's in. I think we're going to have a big night. I mean, we had good mojo the whole show. We were in agreement with almost everything. I think we're going to have a good night here going into Super Bowl weekend.
I'm ready for it. And I think I'm holding with our takes, Big T. I don't see a lot taking me off it. I think I think we're
It's
on
just
it.
if a couple guys get ruled out or something. Like if there's like
Yeah.
OG goes down or something, like there could be. We got to watch the news still, but we can move our last 3 spots with that, right? Like depending on what happens with those, what the news, let's just move our last 3, not the core. I might even put that up as my core.
Get it in there early. We got an hour and 10 minutes, or no, we got hour and 40
and a half
minutes before
Yeah.
live. But yeah, we'll be in Discord for members, answering questions, getting ready for the slate. Appreciate everybody watching. Have an awesome weekend. UFC tomorrow, Super Bowl Sunday. For Big T, I'm DC. We're out of here.